We can add, edit, and delete existing orders. We can also add items to an order. Creating an order works pretty much the same way as creating an order from the item screen, except it doesn't automatically add the first selected item. From the vendor order item list, we can see all of our available items to this order, as well as their different types of quantity. In the event something occurs where you need to make an adjustment, there's various quantity types. For example, is moving something to the back order process. Simply change the quantity and hit save. Once you verify that everything on the order is correct, you can then click Export as CSV. Once you've exported as a CSV, it'll move the status to requested to imply that this information will be sent to the correct vendor for verification. When the vendor replies, if there's any changes that need to be made, you can make them on the order screen before moving on to the next step of creating a shipment. At this step, if you have an invoice number, when you click Ship, you'll be able to put that invoice number in, as well as any shipping details such as tracking number or any kind of notes that are relevant to the order. Once a shipment has been made, we'll then generate a transfer on the back end for you to transfer the product in when the package arrives. You can also select to view shipments to see a list of all shipments that have occurred in and out of the system from selected dates. Since this is the demo, there's only the one. But here you can see any information that might be relevant to what's occurred with the items during the process. Once the transfer has been created, the order screen will update with the transfer ID. And then we can go over to the transfers management page, and we want to go to the pending transfers, as this transfer has been created, but it hasn't been completed yet. We can open up this transfer to see all of the items that are listed inside. For the sake of transfers, since items come in as SKUs for used and use the original UPC more often for new items, by default the transfers will show each individual item as a single line. So for your convenience, when you scan an item in, rather than having to do it one by one, if you count you have 8 of the items in your hand, you can simply update the quantity and scan in one of them to scan in and accept all of the available items. When we have everything that we need, or perhaps if we're missing items, we can go ahead and hit submit to view the summary of the transfer. And any items that are missing, we can simply leave them here and let whoever manages the actual vendor orders take care of it. Simply then hit finalize, and if you had items that are left over, this will update the vendor order area with a needs review status, so that the person who handles vendor orders can adjust the order information to keep track of everything and communicate with the vendor about missing items. And then once everything is fixed on your quantities and the order looks good to go, we can change the status to completed, and all of the items that came in from the transfer will then be in your inventory. In the next video, we'll go over making a vendor return.